This next section I call the mega dateline. And basically this is where we go week by week and give you a synopsis of the week. And I've changed the new mega dateline now not to be from date to date to date, but week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. So this is week 1. And I also summarized the week for you. Each week I believe has 3 major points. So I boil this down to 3 dates each week. Right? 3 days of the week that are most important. I know how busy we all are, so if you can just keep these 3 dates in mind, I think you will make your way through the week great. And you'll see holidays are included. I'm thinking through the week for you. Now, in week 1, you are identifying mind games. That's the first thing that happens in the first week. This is from November 30th to December 6th, incidentally. Identifying your mind games. So this is catching yourself in circular thinking, catching yourself being negative. Remember, thoughts do become reality. It's our thoughts, our words, and then our actions that manifest reality. So manifesting our thoughts now, observing our thoughts to see what are we constantly putting intellectual energy into to manifest. That's the overall theme, is to discover in the first week. So the first day I think that's important is Sunday, November 30th. This is the Sunday after Thanksgiving. You are basically saying goodbye to an old me-religion, and that's an old way of doing routines in your head. It's an old me-religion, an old way of relating to you, old way of talking to you. And this is a point where by Sunday, November 30th, I think you will have identified, some of the things you want to change. Perhaps you're depressed, perhaps it's ADD, perhaps it's restlessness, perhaps it's boredom. But whatever it is that on Sunday, the first point of the story is let's commit to a new state of mind. Let's commit to a new state of feeling. So that's Sunday the 30th. Now, at this point, your mind is ready for a breakthrough thought. Venus is very creative. Venus is at 20 degrees Sag at this point, so 17 degrees. So you're ready to create something new at the same time. And we haven't talked about this too much yet, but Mars is pushing for you to feel more emotionally grounded. So there is a story here in the first week to feel more grounded and wanting to feel more grounded. And the mind is the place you are looking to make the first change, in essence, to that more groundedness. Now, this brings us to the next day in the story, which really is Friday. So what happens is from Sunday, you commit to a new way of thinking, and you practice through the week. So week 1 is like practicing thinking, practicing the way we talk to ourselves, practicing, removing the words that don't serve us anymore. And really on Friday, this is a point where your new faith or your new thinking is challenged. So your first challenge comes Friday, 5 days after your proclamation to think differently. All right, and this challenge comes from a couple of things. One, Saturn, which is the story in Scorpio of you've been raising your prices, you've been fighting for 2 years to raise your prices and raise your self-esteem. So your personal emotional boundaries that affect value are tested, and that's part of it. So as we're exploring new mind stuff, you're being tested on the old stuff, which was the last lesson of the month, of last month. So you really need to own your new value Friday. Whether your mind is on board, don't let it lower the price. Okay? Your mind might be still dealing with whatever craziness. You're trying to get your mind together. Maybe you're in an argument. Maybe this is all playing out in a legal case. But own your value. Do not go back in your value or how much confidence you have. Stay back. And Friday is a point when whatever challenge comes to you, it will most likely still form you to reframe the way you think. So you're going to say, okay, you're still going to want to change your attitude. You're still going to want to change the way you think. You still want to take it up a notch. And that's what the universe is doing, really, is taking it up a notch. Now, because this is all about the mind this month in December for you, a lot about the mind and your feelings, really anything in life, Libra or Libra rising, could trigger this. It could be work, it could be friends, it could be family stuff. It can be anything that is encouraging you to think differently or release the old mind patterns or gives you the ability to see your old mind patterns. Just be advised of that. And the other thing I want to point out too is for those who are messengers like myself, who are writers, people on camera, people who speak to people for a living, again, this part of your life, the communication part, may very well be challenged, and Friday is the day you have to step it up. Then the end of this week, I think, is Saturday, and this is a full moon. So right after this big challenge and test on Friday, Saturday, a big release, a big emotional release. So the full moon is, of course, in Gemini, and so this will be a tug-of-war between your feelings about your beliefs about something. You'll be feeling very very opinionated, feeling very righteous about a direction, and a lot of that may be genuine, may not. The truth is that if your righteousness is based on the old mind game, then you're going to hit a wall, and the full moon means you hit a wall, there's a release, and you see the truth at the end. If your full moon is righteous about the new attitude that you've been developing, then the strength of that passion for the new attitude will let you finally say goodbye and release the old thoughts and attitudes. So it's an old attitude versus old beliefs kind of thing. Shaking out the old thinking, shaking out the self-limiting thinking, and the old beliefs, and the old, let's say, small Farmville kind of attitude. And it doesn't matter where you come from. At this point, you're coming out of small thinking into grander thinking, and you really want to release things. The full moon is about reframing your life. So you want to you're going to end up reframing something in your life. Like, I used to approach it as the victim, and now I approach it as this, or I used to approach it as that, and now I approach it as this. So there'll be a reframing, and part of that reframing is part of, I believe, the help to release. All right, so week 1, identifying mind games. By Saturday, December 6th, the end of the first week, flushing out those mind games that you have identified. Catch the rest of your Megascope Monthly at soulmart.me. Rent or download immediately for just $9.99. Happy New Year!